Hello, buddies, and welcome to another episode of our Today Predictions. Today, 11 February 2026. But before getting started, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below in this video. Make sure you play along as you watch the video and add your own predictions in the comment section. But before we get started with our Today Predictions, let us see how our Monday predictions did. Monday, the 9th of February 2026. Let us see how we did in our Telegram channel. So stay tuned. Okay, so here we are. On Monday, we shared 5 bets in our Telegram channel. And out of the 5, we got 4 on 5, which is not a bad score. So today, I will share with you the results from bets in our Telegram channel. The first bet we went in for was from our both teams to score strategy. But things do not work as planned. Since we played 2 games, but 1 game, PSV versus Os wasn't able to make both teams to score as demanded. So this is another or 2, but we had a refund in the Atalanta game because we played Atalanta handicap of -1, but the game ended 2-1. So we had a refund, but Roma over 1.5 paid out. This is our single bet. So as I always say, if you have a game with an odds, as long as the odd is above 1.60, you can go for it single if you are pretty sure of that game. Remember, the aim of betting is to make small profits that accumulate into huge interest with time. You must not always win big before you are satisfied that you have won. And this was our sure or 2 of the day. Everything went as planned. Here was another sure or 2. Everything went as planned. So yesterday in our Telegram channel was amazing, good for our subscribers. So if you want to follow the winning team, do not hesitate to join our Telegram channel, link in video description. So from here now, let us get started with our today predictions. Today, 11th February 2026. Let us get started with analysis and predictions. So make sure you watch the video till the end so that you don't miss anything or any key analysis needed before placing your bet. So the first game we got to predict is in the Premier League. Aston Villa facing Brighton and Hove Albion. I believe you all will agree that this is an easy one for Aston Villa. But since our strategy lies in safety, let us first look at the table and even the odds, looking at the odds given to them. Aston Villa got 1.99, Brighton got 4.0. Even though these odds are not often here to help you, but they somehow guide you, but you should not just base on this to make your predictions. So looking at the table, you can see Aston Villa is currently placed 3rd position, and they still got hopes for the title. And even title aside, they still need to confirm their spot for Champions League as the season turns to an end. While Brighton and Hove Albion, on the other hand, is just mid-table. They are really not fighting against relegation, but somehow they should keep maintaining their spots so that they should not fall into the relegation zone. So I will say for this game, Aston Villa facing Brighton and Hove Albion. Sure bet here, the safe tip here is Aston Villa to win or draw. But if you want the risks, if you want more rewards, then you can go in for higher risks. Aston Villa to win. Another prediction is both teams to score. But the safe tip here is Aston Villa wins or draw. Aston Villa wins or draw. Still in the Premier League, let us look at Crystal Palace facing Burnley. But due to the tradition in this channel, we decided to set up. We are going to leave this one for our subscribers. So let us know in the comment section what's your exact score prediction between Crystal Palace and Burnley, and stand a chance to win a shout out in our next video if you get the predictions right. So this is just a simple routine tradition we want to establish in this channel henceforth. So this is the game for the subscribers. Crystal Palace facing Burnley. Give your own predictions and stand a chance to win a shout out in our next video. So thanks for playing along with us. waiting to see your own comments and predictions in our comment section. The next game, Manchester City facing Fulham. This is an easy game, but be careful. You know, in betting, at times the easiest games is actually the most difficult, because the same way everybody is planning for City to win, that's how it favors the bookies, because in case City does not win this game, then just imagine the funds they will back into their accounts. But nevertheless, Manchester City should win this game. There are a lot of confluence factors that shows that Manchester City should win this game. Looking at their odds, Manchester City got odd 1.39 as compared to Fulham's odd 8.0. The gap is really existing. But do not forget the absence of some key players such as Doku and Josko Gvardiol as centre back. Looking at the table, you can see Manchester City is chasing Arsenal, 6 points difference. So this is like 2 games. While Fulham is comfortably seated mid-table, no hopes for Europe qualifications or no pressure to the relegation zone. So as safe tip, you can simply play Manchester City to win. No complications, no complications. Play Manchester City to win. The next game we got still in the Premier League, Nottingham Forest facing Wolverhampton. Like seriously, this game can go in any direction. Nottingham Forest is in bad form. This is not the same club we saw last season, beating the high names, beating the big names. Wolves is equally in very bad form. But let us just go with home advantage. Saying Nottingham Forest wins or draw for those that are following the double chance win strategy. Even looking at the table, there are a lot of conference factors that says Nottingham Forest should at least take a point from this game. Look at Nottingham's Forest positions. At least they still got hope not to be relegated. Wolverhampton it is already sure that they are going down. In fact, they are just waiting for the season to finish so that they can drop back to the championship and start rebuilding their team. While Nottingham Forest still got a lot of hopes. If they keep on winning, they can make it and get out of this relegation zone. So I will say Nottingham Forest wins or draw, but it is still very likely and possible that Nottingham Forest wins this game because Wolverhampton is in very bad shape. So depending on the strategy you are following, Nottingham Forest wins or draw, or Nottingham Forest to win the game. Do not forget that higher risks lead to higher rewards, but safe tips leads to consistent and small profits. So depending on your strategy, go with what suits you best. The last game of the day in the Premier League is Sunderland facing Liverpool. I don't know if I should say this is an easy one or a difficult one to predict. On paper, theoretically, on normal basis, it should be an easy game for Liverpool because Liverpool should normally win Sunderland to keep their hopes for at least a spot in the Champions League qualification. But on the other hand, there are some factors we also need to consider when making analysis in this game. Can you imagine that since the Premier League started this season, Sunderland is yet to lose a game in their home stadium? So you can imagine what's up in that stadium this season. Because even Manchester City, Arsenal, all of them have struggled to defeat Sunderland in their stadium, but they have not been up to the task. And we can all say that Liverpool is not in the best form this season. Liverpool is in bad form as compared to previous seasons. So this game should be a tough one. In order to be on the safe hand, it is better to go for Liverpool wins or draw because it would be difficult for Liverpool to actually back a straight win in Sunderland Stadium. But everything is still possible. Liverpool can still win. But the best option is Liverpool wins or draw, or you can go for total over 1.5 goals. But I prefer you stick to Liverpool wins or draw and see what happens on that day. And that's it for the Premier League. So now we are moving to Spain. The Copa del Rey semi-finals, which is played in first leg and second leg. The first leg, Atletico Bilbao facing Real Sociedad. The game starts at Atletico Bilbao Stadium. So this is a tight one to predict and analyze. But looking at past stats, looking at their past head-to-head, Atletico Bilbao is yet to lost a game against Real Sociedad in their own stadium in their recent 3 or 4 meetings. So since this is a cup tie, I believe you should make use of your home advantage. So Athletic Bilbao should normally win or draw in this game. That is the safest tip you can go for in this tie. So go for Athletic Bilbao wins or draw. So our next cup game we are looking at is Bayern Munich facing RB Leipzig in the DFB Pokal game. But unlike the Spanish Copa del Rey, this game is played just in one leg. So I believe Bayern should make use of their home advantage, aside of the fact that Bayern is also in great shape and form. So this should be an easy win for Bayern so that they can make it to the semi-finals, especially looking at the fact that Hurricane still remains hungry for more league titles, for more cups and titles to overcome. So Bayern should normally win RB Leipzig. Bayern Munich, RB Leipzig straight win. If you are chasing profit in huge accumulators, then you can try out Bayern Munich, both teams to score in this game. But the safe tip, if you want consistent profit, Bayern Munich wins. Or if you want to make it more safe again, you can simply play that Bayern Munich qualifies for the next stage, even though the odds will greatly reduce. But Bayern Munich wins the game. That's the ideal bet for this one. So here is another tight cup tie. Royal Union SG facing Royal Charleroi in Belgium. You can clearly see it stated here that this is the second leg. The first leg results 0-0. So you normally take this into consideration when making your analysis. So you can see this first leg ended 0-0. So this puts on more pressure to this Royal Union SG. That means if they want to make it to the next round, they should definitely win the game. And here is their odds in case they should win the game, 1.58. But if you want to play it safe, you want to increase your chances even if they extend the game till prolongations, because you know at time the game can just make and draw on 0-0 or 1-1, then they extend to prolongation and the favorite team wins. You know, in betting, prolongation does not count. So once 90 minutes has reached and what you played has not happened, automatically your bet is gone. So I prefer you go for Union Saint-Gilloise to qualify for the next round. The odds is 1.26, which is not bad as long as it is safe to enter. So the safe tip here is Royal Saint-Gilloise to qualify for the next round. But Royal Saint-Gilloise can still back a win here, but I always prefer to play it safe. So that is it for our today predictions. So if you made it this far in this video, believe me, you are not far from becoming a consistent, profitable bettor. You know, there is a difference between betting and gambling. So once you start following our strategy and predictions, you start betting responsibly and seeing consistent small profit, which will accumulate in the long run and bring you where you want to be. So thanks for watching. Make sure you share, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and especially turn on the notification bell so each time I release a new upload, you will be notified and you can follow along as we are on our way to winning, to keep winning more bets.